Imagine a crowd of 12,000 people gathering in one place. That's roughly the size of a packed arena at a major concert. But this wasn't a concert. This was something far more dramatic, far more terrifying, and ultimately, far more miraculous. Near the town of Carcassonne in medieval France, Saint Dominic was preaching about the power of the Rosary. Word had spread about his sermons, and thousands had come from all around to hear him speak. But on this particular day, something happened that none of those 12,000 people would ever forget. In the middle of Saint Dominic's preaching, there was a commotion in the crowd. A group of men pushed their way forward, and they were bringing someone with them, an Albigensian heretic who was clearly in terrible distress. This man wasn't just sick or troubled. He was possessed by the devil. Multiple devils, in fact. The man's friends brought him to Saint Dominic, desperately hoping the holy preacher could help. The possessed man struggled violently, trying to flee from Saint Dominic's presence. The demons inside him knew exactly who this priest was, and they dreaded what was about to happen. Saint Dominic, instead of immediately beginning the exorcism, decided to do something unusual. He decided to ask the demons some questions, publicly, in front of all 12,000 witnesses. Why? Because he wanted everyone there to understand the spiritual battle that was happening all around them, even when they couldn't see it. The demons, forced by God's power, had to answer Saint Dominic's questions, even though they desperately didn't want to. Their first revelation was shocking. "There are 15,000 of us," they said. 15,000 demons possessing one man. The crowd gasped in horror. How could this be? Why so many? The demons explained, almost against their will, that there was one legion, 1,000 demons for every mystery of the Rosary that this man had attacked. You see, this Albigensian heretic hadn't just ignored the Rosary. He had actively mocked it, attacked it, tried to convince others not to pray it. And for each of the 15 mysteries he had ridiculed, 1,000 demons had been allowed to torment him. But the demons weren't finished. They revealed something even more significant. They said that Saint Dominic, through his preaching of the Rosary, put fear and horror into the depths of hell. They admitted that he was the man they hated most throughout the world, because of all the souls he was rescuing from them through devotion to the Rosary. Think about that for a moment. Hell itself was terrified of a simple prayer. The demons hated Saint Dominic not because of his personal power, but because of the weapon he was giving to ordinary people, the Rosary. Now, Saint Dominic knew exactly what to do. He took his own rosary and placed it around the neck of the possessed man. Then he began to lead the entire crowd, all 12,000 people, in praying the Rosary, together, slowly, devoutly, with complete faith. And as they prayed, something miraculous happened that everyone could see. With each Hail Mary that was prayed aloud, demons began leaving the man's body. They came out visibly in the form of red-hot coals pouring from his mouth, ears, and nose. The crowd watched in amazement and terror as prayer after prayer drove more and more demons out. One Hail Mary, 100 demons expelled. Another Hail Mary, another 100 demons gone. Over and over, as the Rosary continued, the man was being freed right before their eyes. What's remarkable here is that Saint Dominic wasn't using complicated rituals or relying on his own authority alone. He was using the same prayer that anyone could pray the Rosary. He was showing everyone that this wasn't just a priest's weapon. It was everyone's weapon. When the final Hail Mary was prayed and the last demon was cast out, the man sat there completely freed. 15,000 demons expelled. The transformation was complete. And then, though the crowd couldn't see her, the Blessed Virgin Mary, who had been present throughout the exorcism, gave her blessing to everyone gathered there. The people felt an overwhelming sense of joy and peace wash over them, even though they didn't understand why. That day, witnessing this incredible display of the Rosary's power, many of the Albigensian heretics who had been in the crowd converted. They abandoned their false beliefs and returned to the church. They had seen with their own eyes what the demons themselves had been forced to admit. The Rosary puts fear into hell itself. So what's the lesson for us today, centuries later? First, that spiritual warfare is real. There are forces of evil actively working against our salvation, and we need spiritual weapons to fight them. Second, the Rosary is that weapon. It's not superstition or empty repetition. It's a prayer so powerful that demons themselves confess their terror of it. Third, the weapon is available to everyone. Saint Dominic wasn't doing something only saints can do. He was showing ordinary people that they could fight extraordinary spiritual battles through this simple, accessible prayer. And finally, Perseverance matters. The crowd prayed the entire rosary slowly and devoutly. They didn't give up halfway through, and that's what it took to completely free this man. If you're facing spiritual battles today, and all of us are in one way or another, remember this story. Remember that 12,000 people witnessed the power of the rosary to cast out 15,000 demons. Remember that hell itself fears this prayer. And remember that you have access to the same weapon they used. Pick up your rosary, pray it with faith, and watch what God can do through the intercession of Our Lady.